Hello everybody, Pinstripe here. What is going on? Welcome back to some more Hogs of War. We're here on mission 15, Fortified Shrine, where the Major's wine cellar collection stuff has been taken by the enemy. We have 3 spies and 1 pyrotechnic. It's the more sillier of the missions when it comes to the storyline of the game. But at the same time it is the final mission on Trottsville, so it is a point where you can get a bunch of medals. This is a mission that has a couple of faults on the PS1 version, given that players wouldn't always be given all 3 medals even if they took the troop transport, which is also known as the Duck, which I'm going to fly over to in a minute. But this is of course the PC version, so the 3 medals can be acquired so long as you keep hold of the Duck itself and you make sure that the wine cellar does not get destroyed. So with those objectives, in many ways the Hogs of War community had to kind of find out what it was to get all 3 medals. And what I mean by this is that there's never really any clear guidelines when you play these missions as to what you need to do exactly. You've got that marker on the ground there that gives you a special weapon. In this case it's a rocket launcher. You've got the troop transport, but it doesn't tell you to take the transport from A to B. All it just tells you is to keep the wine cellar from being blown up. That's it. So don't blow up the wine cellar. That's number 1. Everything else, I don't know, you just kind of make up as you go along. And like I'm saying, it was down to the Hogs of War community to find these things and find out the specifics of how to get all 3 medals. Long story short, mission objectives can be very vague at times, and it can get a little bit frustrating, especially when you're not then rewarded with the medals. And this is kind of a common, I guess, bug in Hogs of War, where medals aren't gifted to the player when they complete objectives, or if it's the case of Geneva Convention, it's that wonderful mission with the tents that you've got to destroy them, and if you don't destroy them in a certain way, or if you destroy one of them before the other ones, then the major will yell at you and then he'll say no promotion points for you. And for, players that don't know that's going to happen or don't know that that is specifically a bug, it can be very frustrating. Getting back to the gameplay then, because getting a little bit distracted, going to be positioning my spy over here on the far side and blowing up this here explosive barrel, because when it blows up, if the enemy pig is still stood there, he is guaranteed to be killed because he will always slide down into the minefield. As you saw at the start of the mission, I did damage the enemy spy and pyrotechnic using a well-placed cluster bomb and just a nicely placed explosive barrel. Again, they're just too juicy. You're going to want to blow them all up, but you can't, because if you do, it will blow up the wine cellar, and we don't want that. So I'm going to be using my surgeon to heal up everybody, because at the start of the match they were targeting my engineer. I don't want that. I want everyone with full health, regardless of what I'm up to. And then he can utilize his tranquilizer to skip the turn of the pyrotechnic, because we don't need him dealing any damage with his mortars. I did pickpocket his bazooka, so I've got that in hand if I need it, but my main course of action now is to take out the other enemy spy who has currently the most health on the enemy team. So really it's just a case of get into position and use the super shotgun. Finally, I know it's nice to use it finally, to push him into the minefield. Now the minefield is a little bit patchy. The whole surface isn't all of the minefield. It's kind of in I don't know, just little patches. So he doesn't get, completely blown up, which is annoying, and he is still within distance, or just within shooting distance really, and he's just going to continuously target the duck, which is also a problem, because if I want that promotion point, I've got to keep the duck safe, or at least make sure it doesn't get damaged. So again, taking out the pyrotechnic, don't want him around anymore, seeing as he has only 36 health, and now he is dead. So it's just a case of taking out the other 2 spies. The wine cellar is positioned, of course, on the far side in the middle of the map. So it's not really going to pose too much of a problem unless you're terrible at aiming, or if you manage to damage the explosive barrel that is closest to it. So I figured, seeing as I've got the duck, why not drive into this enemy pig and take him down, and then the only thing left, of course, is the final spy. So the mission itself isn't too complicated, and even on hard mode it doesn't get too complicated either, because you have the additional damage from the explosive barrels, and I think it's one of the only missions where you can use explosive barrels specifically to target enemy pigs, which is kind of handy. Overall though guys, that's pretty much going to wrap everything up. Yet again, just a short mission here, not too complicated. Things will get a little bit longer as we progress into the final few missions. There is of course only 10 left to do, and then we will progress onto hard mode, which will be interesting. I will of course be doing campaign run-throughs on the PlayStation version as well, because you know PC is very limited. Even though it looks very nice, very clean, we all know it's significantly broken compared to the PlayStation version. But overall, let me know your thoughts on this mission in the comments below, and I will catch you guys later for the next one.